Hyper Manic Noize.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is episode 6 of the Hyper Manic Noize Podcast, and I get to sit down with Brenton, aka Reggie, from Queensland rockers Osaka Punch, who are in Western Australia promoting their single How We Operate. These guys are fucking awesome. I don't even know how to describe the band. It's like Tool mixed with funk, mixed with a bit of progressive music like Rush. It's just such an amalgamation of cool, weird music, and they're fucking great. They're a fucking great band and great dudes as well. And you can actually hear the new single How We Operate at the end of the episode. It's a fucking sick jam and you're gonna love it. I'll tell you what, it was great to sit down with some fellow Queenslanders. Yeah, Queenslander! We start the show off with some nonsense from the wide world of webtards with a clip called Rappin' for Jesus. Who knew that a song about the Lord could feature so many N-bombs? Are we now going to heaven? Who the fuck knows? Listen to the show and decide for yourself. We had an in-depth chat about the band, their latest album, Death Monster Super Squad, and their upcoming massive fucking tour with the Butterfly Effect in March 2018. I brought up my theory on the difference between a real bassist and someone like me who can play guitar and therefore play bass, but isn't a bassist. And old Reggie, he's a real bassist, and he's quite the master of fingering. Yeah, I'll just leave that to hang. They nearly missed their fucking flight to Perth, which was a great story. Drummers, eh? And as always, we close the show out with a segment called Cunty Questions, and it's now got its own theme tune featuring some of my beatboxing prowess. Man, you're going to love this show. It was a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot about the band, and you're going to have a great time. Please, if you listen to the show on iTunes, TuneIn, Podbean, YouTube, whatever it is, leave a 5-star rating, write a positive comment, whatever you can do. It all really goes a long way to help support the show, and things like that really help to get more listeners and to get more awesome guests. So, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy this chat with Reggie from Osaka Punch. Get the fuck out there and join the Death Monster Super Squad.
Podcast initiation complete. Warning. This episode may cause brain damage. Hyper Manic Noize.
Alright, welcome to the show. I'm here with Reggie from Osaka Punch. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. So you've enjoyed the shitty flight from Brisbane to Perth, my least favourite flight on earth?
Oh, man. Yeah, it's a real joy, actually. No, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, it's a long way, man. It's definitely a long way.
Yeah. Alright, so and you've got 3 shows over here.
Yeah, totally.
So Perth, Bunbury, Margaret River, Perth.
That's
in
the
that
ones.
order.
Yep.
Sweet. All right, so I like to start the show off with something fucked up from the internet, and I'm assuming you're not a Christian?
No.
No. Well, I used to be one, but I've learnt from my mistakes. So these guys are going to teach us about the Lord through rap.
Let's do it.
All right, so maybe this will save your soul.
Rapping for Jesus.
Rapping for Jesus.
I'm ready for this.
I don't know if you are.
Probably not.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you got to do a rap to a hip-hop beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my nigga. Woo.
A 55-year-old dude.
Just throwing down.
Dropping N-bombs.
It's working.
He's a life changer, miracle arranger, born to the virgin mom in a manger. Water to wine, he's a drink exchanger, and he died for your sin.
I love the old cut in the background with his fucking smoke machine. I think he's got dementia and they've just ushered him in there for the day.
Oh, 100%. Hold this, buddy.
I preach the word, that's my gig, and I rhyme better than Notorious Big. All the other MCs, I wish them well, but if you live in sin, you burn in hell.
And he understands rap because it's a nice shot by the prison.
Yeah.
Now I'ma pass the mic to my lovely wife. She's a fly MC and the light of my life. So to bust a rhyme without further ado, take it away, Mary Sue.
And then he brings the hot bitch in, as you do. She's like 89.
Jesus Christ is my nigga. He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to Earth to elucidate the way that we should be. What?
Wow.
Like if
hype
another
man.
MC says you're a freak, you're a lame butt rapper and your rhymes are weak, I don't get mad and I don't critique. I forgive him and turn the other cheek. I don't blaspheme and I don't brag. I don't cuss.
Saucy.
And my pants don't sag. I do exude a little Christian swag, and I'm proud to be an American.
They couldn't help
Jesus
themselves.
Christ is a nigga. Let his light shine through ya. Let his love pop a cap in your butt and say hallelujah. Jesus Christ is a nigga.
Oh, man.
There's no hint of irony in this. That's the best part.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's a homie MC, JC, you see. He's an honest, caring, peace-loving nigga like me. If you do drugs and you think you're cool, you need to come to Sunday school. Put those drugs in a garbage can. Stand up tall, you're a Christian man. Word up. I'm freestyling.
Hit me.
The guy in the back's definitely my favourite.
Yeah, I know.
He's the best.
He doesn't look like he's all there. I think he's been living on the streets for some time.
Wow.
There you go.
That just happened.
The best part is you're going to have that in your head for weeks.
Probably for the rest of my life by the sound of it.
I hope so.
Thanks, man.
It's all right. Are you feeling closer to the Lord?
Yeah, well, yes, definitely. That's the first step, I think.
I love how they're like 60 and just dropping N-bombs and don't even
batting
appear to
an
be
eyelid.
aware that I don't even know what to say.
I think I just had an aneurysm.
I think the guy in the back's had an aneurysm
Yeah,
or
definitely.
two.
Or he needs one. Yeah.
So you guys started out as the Kidney Thieves,
Yep.
and then changed the name. Were you in the band when they relocated to the UK?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
So they were the Kidney Thieves for ages, and because of there's an American band called Kidney Thieves, all that shit went down. Had to have a name change, and it kind of, if you're going to have a name change, it kind of happened at the best time because they hadn't released the first album yet.
Yeah.
So thankfully, but so they did the name change, then released the first album, Voodoo Love Machine, and then after that went over to the UK for 2 years. So I joined the band when they came back to Australia after that because the bass player stayed over there. He got married and stayed there.
How selfish.
I know, right?
I know.
Yeah, anyway, worked out good for me though.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, originally Kidney Thieves, now Osaka Punch.
Cool. Where'd that name originate from? Is that a drink or?
No, I mean, the guys are big fans of puns and play on words, so it's just a play on Sucker Punch, so
Nice.
Osaka Punch.
Yep.
And they had a few different names, Squirrel Milk and a few different things.
I think this one's probably better than Squirrel Milk.
Yeah.
Although I would love.
How good is that?
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Yeah, but and it just kind of, yeah, I think it was just the best out of a bad lot, I reckon. So that's what
It's
they
a
rolled with.
catchy name.
Yeah, I think so. And it opened up to a lot of cool artwork. I think that's what I like the best about it.
I was going to ask you about that. I've noticed. So you guys are you releasing a video for every song, or is it just songs that? Because on your website, you've got sort of different characters and then songs related to.
Yeah. So that's so our latest release is Death Monster Super Squad. So that's what that is. And the kind of theme behind that is every song has a monster attached to it. So like Make the Call has a monster, In or Out, Spider and the Fly, and all the monsters together make up like the Death Monster Super Squad kind of thing. So each song has its monster, each monster has its own bio and has its like own artwork and all that kind of stuff, because I'm a huge fucking comic like nerd. I love that shit. So when we kind of floated that idea around of like, you know, let's give them like each song a monster, and we got this awesome artist of ours, Jordan Larissa, his name is.
Okay.
And so he's just like, we told him the idea and he's like, yeah, I can definitely run with that. And he just like churned out all these awesome monsters and shit. So
That's wicked.
yeah, so that opened up to just heaps of different, you know, merch opportunities for us, and just we got the Death Monster Super Squad story. And yeah, so for me, like being a comic book fan and music fan, I'm just like, just came in my pants a little bit. Only a little bit though.
Only a little bit?
Yeah.
You got to save some just in case.
Just in case.
You never know when it'll come in handy.
Exactly.
So there's not many bands that have done that. I know there's a Perth band called Claim the Throne. They released a book with one of their albums years ago. Yeah. And the only other band that Kiss had comics. And Coheed and Cambria, I'm a big fan of. And I've got all of their comics. Yeah. And I love when bands go that extra mile and add a different dimension. Yeah. To the music's great, but if you can get fans invested on some other level, that's even better.
Well, that's kind of where we were at the time, thinking about it too. Like, over the years, obviously, music's changed. You can't really... I mean, it's super important to have good songs, good music, put on a good show. But just where we're at now, with people's attention spans and stuff, the more stuff you have to pull people in, the better. Just the reality of it. So, like, those bands you named, another band that's done a similar thing is 12 Foot Ninja. They did the whole 12 comics over the... So we kind of just, thought that was a cool idea and did our own kind of spin on it with the Death Monster Super Squad, which, if all goes to plan for our next release, there'll be something relating to it as well. So I just opened up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. And also with your guys' style and sort of quirkiness, it really goes hand in hand with that.
Yeah.
I feel like if it was a band like Cannibal Corpse, it would come off as like, fuck off, you know?
They would have to release, like, with each song, like a knuckle duster or a fucking... or just, like, something like that. They'd have to really tailor it to their...
An aborted fetus in a Ziploc bag.
That's it.
Something like that.
Exactly right, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. What is the song where Clint from The Butterfly Effect is at the start of the clip?
How We Operate. That's our new single that we're touring at the moment.
Yeah. So I loved that because I'm a Queensland boy. And I was watching it, and I'm like, with my missus, I'm like, I fucking know every place in this. Yeah. It was just nice. I felt at home. Yeah. I was like, and we went there on a holiday, and I said, do you remember when I did this here? Do you remember when I nearly got in a fight here? I was just pointing out all this, as Queenslanders do. Yeah. If you don't go out and get in a fight, have you gone out?
Have you gone out? Yeah. Have you just stayed home? Yeah.
Oh, well, we went to Coheed and Cambria there and went to that Happy High Herbs and bought these pretend mushrooms and all this sort of stuff that were basically real.
Oh, no shit.
I was on another planet. Yeah. Just, have you ever seen Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David from Seinfeld?
No, but I know the show, yeah.
They call him the social assassin.
Yep.
Just every situation he gets in, he upsets everybody. And I was just trying to be friends with people in the line, and I
wasn't working.
No, I heard someone say racist, and I made a joke like, "Ha, I'm racist." Yeah. And then they didn't realise I was in the conversation because I was off my face. Yeah. I thought I was, and then I was worried they thought I was actually racist. And then I tried to make it better, which probably made me sound like a racist. And then my missus just went, "Turn around!" Yeah. And then I, was in trouble. Yeah. And then was trying to get in fights with people, just a fucking tool. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it all wore off at once, and I was completely sober.
Wow. So never again?
I would totally do that again. It was awesome. My missus wasn't happy, but I had a great time. But it was just bizarre that it lasted for about 5 hours, and then within the space of 5 minutes, just completely sober. It was great.
Yeah, wow.
Don't know how I got on that tangent, but that's Brisbane.
And now here we are.
And you're going to Bunbury, it only seems appropriate.
Yeah, well, we've never been there before, so it'll be our first time playing there. Actually, first time even being there, so...
So you've been to WA before?
Yeah, we've been over here once. We toured with Dead Letter Circus, but we didn't visit Bunbury on that tour, so it'll be our first time in Bunbury. But we have done Margaret River and Perth before.
Dead Letter Circus are a great bunch of guys. We played with them years ago.
Yep. Yeah, they're awesome, man. Good guys, good band. It was good to come over with them because they're Brizzy boys as well. So it was them and also Rival Fire from Melbourne.
Oh, cool, with Farnsey's son.
Yeah, Robbie.
Yeah, he keeps that on the down low.
Yeah, Robbie Farnham.
It's out now.
Yeah.
Everyone knows now.
So they've been on this tour over so they did Brisbane with us, and we did Melbourne and Adelaide together on this tour. So
I just respect the fact that he's never pushed that.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to be...
No one's making on his own merit, I guess you'd say. Yeah. And he's a dude, man. He's one of the nicest guys you'll meet. And he's just another guy in the band trying to do his thing kind of thing. So it's cool. So,
it's easy to piggyback on Daddy. Yeah. But he's never done that.
No.
And I respect the fuck out of that. And he's a great vocalist. It's a cool band. Yeah. And he should believe in his ability.
Yeah, totally. And the boy can sing for sure.
And then there's the other approach, what's her name? Kelly Osbourne. Where, but she straight out said, look, I've got this record deal because my dad sang for Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
And what am I supposed to do? Say no?
Exactly.
And I like the fact she acknowledged it. She didn't just pretend that it was all...
Yeah, her kind of deal, yeah.
Well, how could you?
Well, that's the reality of it, man. Like, if you can just accept that, then... Yeah. But no, yeah, so... Yeah, it's been... That tour was good, so we're kind of excited and interested to see how these shows go. But, yeah, WA, it's a long way away for us, so it's kind of hard to get here often, so...
It's expensive too.
It's really expensive.
No one takes that into account.
Yeah.
If you come from over east and you break even, that's making money. That's the best you'll do.
100%. Breaking even would be awesome.
Well, even the international tours very rarely come here, and there's promoters in Perth that were bringing them here that are now like, nah, because it's just too much of a risk, and Perth people are terrible at buying tickets in advance.
Yeah.
Or buying tickets at all, really. Yeah. It's sad.
It is, because it's I love Perth. Like, granted, I've only been here a few times. I've always had a good time here. It's a beautiful place, and some awesome bands have come out of Perth.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously there's stuff going on here, but I guess just location makes it tough for touring bands anyway.
People here are spoilt too. I mean, I'm from Rockhampton, it's sort of close to 7 hours north of Brizzy. And when we would go to shows in Brisbane, it was 7 hours drive to go to a gig, and then we'd drive home the next day. And here, people are going, I'm not going to fucking Freo. It's 40 minutes. Yeah. Stop being a cunt.
Totally. Well,
but that happens in Brizzy?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, because I'm originally from Townsville.
Oh, right, there you go.
So, like, mine was more, got to buy tickets to fly to Brisbane to go see a band, and then fly back the next day. So, I know exactly how you feel. But
when did you move to Brizzy?
I moved to Brisbane 9 years ago.
All right. Well, my band would have played in Townsville a few times when you were still there.
Okay.
Every show we had there was shit house. I hated it.
Yeah, Townsville's tough, man. Tough place to play. Anywhere north of Brisbane gets pretty tough. Oh, north of Sunny Coast, actually.
It depends, though, because when my band was from Rocky, and we would have 100 to 150 every single Friday.
Yeah.
And when we started, there was no original music nights or anything, so we had to fill a 4-hour cover slot. So we'd do 45 minutes of our songs, 2 sets of metal covers, and then I'd do 1 set of acoustic covers.
Yeah, right.
That was just, we had to do that so we could play. But we were getting paid $350 a gig.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And we wasted it all because we were young and stupid.
Yeah.
And then came to release our album. We're like, oh, fuck, we probably should have put that $3.5 grand into something rather than beer.
Yeah.
But, fucking stupid and young.
That's it.
So, with the band, there's like a tongue-in-cheek sort of thing going on. Was that intentional, or did it just sort of evolve with the personalities of the people?
I think that's just us, man. Like, that's kind of just our personalities coming out through the music and through our film clips and stuff like that. Like, we take our music very seriously, but we just kind of don't take ourselves very seriously, I guess you'd say. But when it comes down to performing and recording and writing and anything music related, we're 100% there, and probably more so than other bands maybe. But when it comes to presenting ourselves, we're a bit like, well, let's just be ourselves, because if you're going to do this for a long time, you can't. It's easy just to be yourself, man. It's the easiest way to do it.
With your style, it's so eclectic and it's so fun. There's the funk sort of element, there's the metal, there's the rock. There's a really sort of progressive tone to it as well. Just the way the songs move and shift. It lends itself to that sort of fun attitude. Like, I don't imagine going to your gig and seeing people spin kicking each other and punching each other in the face.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have a beer in their hand dancing.
Yeah.
Sort of a dance mosh pit sort of hybrid, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly the vibe that kind of happens, because we like having a good time and putting energy in, because that 45-hour on stage is the funnest part of being in a band, as far as I'm concerned. So
and I've seen 1,000 international bands, and there's bands like King Parrot that I love that are amazing live, just so fucking crazy and intense. But if I had to rank my favourite live bands, one would be Regurgitator, and one would be Clutch, and both of those were people just everyone was arm in arm. It was like, oh, let's all be friends.
Yeah.
And I do love crazy mosh pits. I'm getting too old for it now, but
yeah,
that's so much more fun.
Oh, dude, personally, I hate that slam dancing fighting shit.
Oh, that's retarded.
Like, I like just seeing people, having a good time, looking like just going off. Like, the more energy, the better, man. Because the more energy the crowd's given, the more energy you feed off each other. But as long as everyone's having a good time, and I think our music lends to that because we're not super heavy, so we don't really get those crazy fucking mosh pits. We get, some of our stuff's pretty heavy, so we get some moshing, but besides that, just seems to be people having a good time. So
yeah, well, that's perfect.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, each to their own. Some people like that other shit, but for us, that's where it is for us.
Well, it has a place. I mean, when the first big show I ever saw was Metallica, and I wanted to be packed in, surrounded by people enjoying it, but then having seen bands like Slayer, Obituary, Napalm Death, it's just wild, which is kind of what I want for that music anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be in there anymore. I'm too fucking old and
that's it. Everyone's different. Like, I like being able to see what the band's doing as well. Probably that's just from a musician's point of view, but I love seeing, like, watching what they're doing, and I find enjoyment in that. So
me too. I'm one of the people that will sometimes I'll be standing completely still and realise, fuck, I haven't moved for 10 minutes at all.
Just in awe of what's going on.
And I probably look like a complete freak.
Yeah.
But I just get sucked in.
Yeah.
And you guys, I mean, when you're talking about not taking yourself seriously, that's great. But fuck, man, the music is technically, it's awesome. Like, you guys are skilled musicians, and I like, the same reason I like bands like 12 Foot Ninja is that it's different, and it's unexpected. I don't like deathcore because I can say, all right, here's the build up to the breakdown before it happens, and here's the breakdown. And something that some of the guys we toured with years ago came up with was Where's Roy? Because every one of those death metal bands is dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, Where's Roy?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Roy?
Yeah.
It's just every song's got a Where's Roy in it.
Yeah.
And it's just, for me, it's cut paste. Whereas you guys, I've been listening to a few of the songs recently, and I never know where it's going to go, which is awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Because I don't want to know where it's going to go. If I know, what's the point?
What's the point? Yeah. Well, that's there. We all come from different musical backgrounds, and I think that kind of shows in the way we write and the way the songs come out. But I mean, over the year, like, I think the first album was a lot more probably progressive and stuff like that. But yeah, we still just as long as the song flows, for us, it doesn't really matter too much if there's like a built-in structure, just as long as it flows and it doesn't sound like you've, try to be different for a reason. It just sticks out like dog's balls kind of thing. Like, just as long as the song, you can listen to the song and go, yeah, there's lots of changes in there, but fucking it flows real good. That's what you want.
Yeah, that's great. With my band, we had everything from sort of Iron Maiden, Judas Priest to Dissection, Carcass sort of influences.
Yeah.
It's very diverse and in a different way to you guys, but I would say as far as diversity between styles, there was the same sort of discrepancy.
Yeah.
And I found that we would get reviews, and one review would list all these attributes and say it's awesome, and then another review would list the same attributes and say it was shit.
Yeah.
The exact same points.
Yeah.
I mean, have you had any of that? I mean, I wouldn't say anyone would say it's shit, but people that are kind of like, this is too...
Yeah, chop changey or whatever.
Yeah.
Not as such, but I know what you mean. But because I think kind of similar to what you're saying, but not in a review sense. The aspects of Osaka Punch that I think make us who we are and make us original or whatever, and things that I love about the band, can also be the things that stop us from getting, say, radio play and all these kind of stuff. So the things that we all value and like, can also be the things that are in some areas may hold us back, because people like that, a lot of people want just digestible stuff, you know what I mean? We don't really do that. So it's similar in that review sense. Like, some people will think those things are fucking awesome, but some other people will be like, no, it's too chop changey or it's too whatever. it just comes down to personal opinion, man, I think.
Yeah, and well, at least now you guys have gone about this the right way, where radio is not really important anymore, and to get radio exposure is hard, if not impossible.
Yeah.
And you guys would be a weird one to place in. Are you on Full Metal Racket with the metal, or are you on? Where do you fit? Because you kind of don't, which is the appeal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But you've gone around that where you've said, okay, we're going to release cool video content, an extra dimension to our songs, and let the people find it, promote it online.
Yeah. That's exactly. That's pretty much exactly it. Like, we have some songs that would go on, the Racket and stuff like that, but the other songs, we're not a metal band, you know what I mean? So we don't really fit on the Racket, we don't really fit in other places, and that came pretty apparent early in the piece when, like, we approached Triple J and places like that, and they're like, yeah, you guys are good, but where am I supposed to play you guys? And like, well, I kind of thought that's what you did, with Triple J and whatever. But whatever, that's just the way it is. It changes, ebb and flow of the thing. So we went, all right, well, if that happens, it happens. If ever we get on the radio, awesome, kind of deal. That's cool. But seeing those, that's, not happening right now, what else do we have at our disposal? And the internet, man, is where it's at. So YouTube, videos, people seem to, like videos and all that kind of stuff. So like, well, let's focus our energy on that, and touring and just writing songs and doing that, because the radio thing's not happening right now. So let's not waste any more time there. There's other ways to do this. I mean, to be honest, like, if we had came through in the 90s, I think we would have had a lot better. Yeah. So, because touring back then, I think too, was a really good way to build the band, whereas a lot of stuff now is built, I think, online.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of bands out there that are like doing YouTube stuff, for example, like Dead Kelly and stuff like that are already have a strong presence that haven't even played a show. You know what I mean? And that's fine, and that's a way you can do it. And I think those boys choose to do it that way. I don't even know if they have any interest in touring at all, but I mean, for me,
they've done it in other bands as well.
Yeah,
they keep their identities.
A
bit on the sly. But I've seen them in Melodicy years ago, and they were great. And then if you listen to Melodicy and you listen to that, you're like, Jesus Christ,
chalk and cheese.
Yeah, bipolar.
Yeah. So I mean, there's ways you can do it like that, but for us and me in particular, I want to play. Like, that's out of everything. Like, some people like writing and creating and the recording process. For me, it's like playing live is why I've started playing bass. So even though that may be smarter to sit at home, like financially anyway, and just, YouTube stuff and just record and just send stuff out and wait for something to happen. But I'm not in it for that, man.
Well, you guys are a live band.
Exactly. And that's important. That's an important aspect for us as well. So sometimes I don't think, and it goes for a lot of bands, some songs and stuff aren't represented real well on an album. Like, you need to see it live, and then you kind of get it a bit more. So, yeah.
Tool, those sort of...
Yeah, dude.
Progressive music. I mean, Rush is one of my favourite bands.
Yeah, Geddy Lee.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm Geddy Lee, I do what I want. Have you seen that?
South Park. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
But them, I rarely listen to the CDs, but I'll chuck the DVD on all the time.
Totally.
And even if I'm just listening to it, it's just a different animal.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about them.
Yeah.
And again, where some of their songs are heavy as shit, some of them are sort of like minstrels dancing in the forest. They never... That's the perfect example. When were they on the radio? They never got radio play.
Yeah.
And I think they've got the record for most consecutive gold records out of any band from memory.
Right.
I'm a bit of a autistic when it comes to those sort of stats, but I'm pretty sure that if not the record, they'd be second or third.
Yeah, right.
And never on the radio.
Cool.
And I think you guys, even if you came fucking 4 years earlier, I think the radio would have been a huge component.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think it all changed. What's being played on the radio changes over the years, and I think because probably of our age and of our influences, we have a bit of a 90s influence in our music. So, with radio stuff, maybe in their eyes, we've missed our time a little bit, but there's still so many people out there that listen to all the stuff that we listen to, and there's, I still think the music's current. It's just at the moment.
Oh, I'm not even meaning that. I'm meaning just in not your appeal, like you should have been 4 years ago. I'm talking more that, well, do you listen to the radio?
No, not
I don't
anymore.
either.
No.
And there's nothing in it for me.
Yeah.
And I've tried, and I've listened to it when it's played at work, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
So I think that was sort of, for me, in my opinion, that was like the last wave of let's push these cool bands on the radio. Now it's just, have you ever heard of the comedian Steve Hughes?
Yeah.
He used to be a metal drummer.
Yeah.
You know, talking about the X Factor and all that. Just eat your shit. Here's your shit, eat it.
Yeah.
And that to me is the radio. It's
Yeah.
the depth it's just the vocal hook, and that's where it thrives. Whereas you guys, there's so much to delve into. I think it's probably too deep for a lot of people.
Well, yeah. I guess, that's kind of how we've kind of taken it all. Like, we're just like, well, people don't want that at the moment on the radio, or people who kind of make those decisions anyway don't want that. That's fine. We'll do what we do, and there'll be a point where if, you know, I kind of think this kind of happened a little bit with 12 Foot, but I could be wrong, but I think they would have had a similar thing, but then they just toured and they did their thing, and they got kind of to the size where they were so big they just couldn't ignore it anymore, you know. So I think, if anything, that would be the way the approach will take, if we can.
Yeah, for sure. I've known radios on the way out for a long time, but there was one of the prominent music journo sites that I follow put this band Confidence Man and said they were the best live band in Australia. And I won't ask you to comment because you're in a band, but I will comment because I'm not in a band anymore. Jesus fucking Christ. That was, to me, I'm like, you need to see more bands.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But, you know, it infuriates me to see so many fucking good bands, and then Voyager that you guys are playing with over here are so good, and they're heavy, but it's 100% accessible.
Yeah.
They're no more heavy than the Foo Fighters in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they don't tick the box to be played during the day on Triple J.
Yeah.
They'll get played on the Racket and stuff. But they've had fuck all radio play, and they headline Prog Power in Europe and America and shit. And they've done exactly what you guys are doing, just recorded quality music, put the content out there, supported, toured and supported it. Yeah,
I just think as a band, if you don't fall into that category, I think you just got to remember that there are people out there that still like that stuff. You just got to find them and service it to them, and then, you know, just stick with it, kind of thing. You know, if there's a will, there's a way. So if you just keep working hard at it, you will start playing in front of more people, and opportunities will arise. And you'll either make it to your goal without the radio, or one day, you know, it'll just be on the radio. And you're like, well, whatever.
Well, King Parrot, I think, is a fine example. They put out these quirky, cool videos in it, you know, very different music, but it shows the personalities of the guys, like what your videos do. Yeah. And their music is so inaccessible.
Totally.
You know, I love it. Fucking love it. But that's not middle of the day radio shit. But they've done exactly that. They've written their cool songs. They've just toured. They're just total road dogs. Yeah. And a bunch of good cunts as well. Yeah. And they've just said, fuck it, we don't need that. Let's just do it on our own terms.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
So I feel like there's a difference between someone who plays bass and a bassist.
Okay.
Because I can play bass. Yep. With a pick.
Oh,
and I can play along to the song. Yeah. And I can get by. And most people won't fucking know. Yeah. But I think you're a bassist.
Oh.
So
thank you.
And I'm sure you understand sort of what I mean. Any guitarist can pick up a bass and play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But being a bassist is completely different.
Yeah, if it's your primary instrument, generally you'll probably play it a little bit different, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a completely different attitude, a completely different... If I write a song and I play bass to it, I'm basically playing...
What you're playing on guitar.
Essentially,
yeah.
Whereas a real bassist, there's a few over here that come to mind. There's a band called Serial Killer Smile. Okay. Their bassist is amazing. Voyager's bassist is amazing.
He's got chops.
He's a bassist, and I think the bass is actually a really huge aspect of what you guys do. Yeah. And it's good because there's so many people in bands that are like me, playing bass.
Yeah. Well, I'm a huge fan of bands like Primus and all that kind of stuff. So early Incubus, I fucking love
so good.
Like Science is probably my favorite album of all time. And a lot of the bands that I grew up listening to, because I was playing bass, I think they have what you are considering bassists in their band kind of deal. So for us too, and I think just because with that funk kind of element. The bass is very prominent. So for me, it's just the thing that makes you move. So you got to like get the feels going.
Yeah, and I've always been a guitarist, but bands with a bassist that are awesome, like Dream Theater, Rush, Tool. Yeah, Tool's one of the few bands that went from a fingerstyle bassist to a pick style and retained it.
He's so good, man.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he is so good.
But for me, I guess I just love watching things get fingered.
Oh, who doesn't? Yeah, exactly.
I love watching someone play fingerstyle.
Yeah, when I started playing, I've always preferred that kind of sound. I was a huge like Tim Comerford from Rage Against the Machine fan, and just the feel and sound you get with fingers. Personally, to me, I love that. I mean, the pick style playing definitely has its place as well, especially if you're playing. I get it with a lot of metal bands. So if it's fast stuff, like pick stuff's it makes sense. You know?
Technical death metal and
totally. Yeah. It's a lot faster and it can be a lot clearer with a pick at times and stuff, but. Particularly for what we're doing as well, and because there's some slap in there as well, just the finger thing works. So, but
keep fingering,
just keep fingering and slapping it and fingering it.
Yeah, I think we gave up on that too early. Sort of year 10, everyone left fingering behind.
I've just been fingering for ages, man.
I'm glad you're like the poster boy of fingering.
I was stuck with it.
I hope you can make a career out of fingering.
So do I, man. I've been trying
in one way or another.
Yeah, exactly. A few avenues.
You could be the world famous fingering porn star.
Well, man, I mean, in porn music, it's all slap based, dude. Like, it's all connected, man. Like,
you're right.
I'm 100% right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So is that your end game?
I don't know.
Getting paid $5 to appear in a porno.
That's probably more than what I get paid now for playing music, so it's a good start.
Yeah, well, the music industry will fuck you in some way. So,
exactly.
Yeah, art is fucked.
Yeah.
It's not a money-making scheme.
No, it's not, but you don't really do it for that, I guess.
Well, I'll be honest, stand-up pays worse.
I don't doubt that, man. Yeah. Anything that's actually fun to do doesn't pay well. That's kind of my theory on stuff. Like,
well, I think back to what we got paid in the band. In stand-up, because you do open mics, and open mic is kind of like the jam.
Yep.
With comedy, it's you guys can play your songs, and if the audience doesn't like it, they don't like it, and if they love it, they love it. But you know whether you've played the songs well or not. But with comedy, if you don't get them to laugh, you failed. It doesn't matter whether it's grandmas or 20-year-olds.
Yep.
So you have to do it on stage. That's kind of, you got to jam on stage. And no one gets paid for those.
Yeah.
So you can I've probably done 100 open mics.
Yeah.
And got paid for none of them.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time and fuel. And
totally.
But we don't have to buy gear and all that sort of shit that you guys have to.
That's true, yeah.
But the upside is there's only one dickhead to deal with, and that's me.
Yeah.
And I'm hard to deal with. But I used to have 4 other dickheads to deal with.
Yeah, that's it. That was like us last night. We fucking booked in super late. So the ladies at the check-in, like, we didn't rock up late. One of our members, I won't mention who, but Dane, our drummer, rocked up late to fucking check in. So the lady checking us in at Oversize, literally halfway through the check-in, just went, "Oh, nah, I'm finished now. I don't get paid overtime. See you later." Have you ever seen Fifth Element?
Yeah.
Where, like, the lady's like, "Oh, we're closed now," and the fucking shutters come up and it's just in the middle of the conversation. I don't know if you remember that part, but that's pretty much exactly what happened. We're halfway through and she's like, "I'm done. See you later," and just left. And we're like, what the actual fuck? And she's like, "You'll just have to go back down there to those people and then bring your stuff back here because I don't get paid overtime and I'm going home and you can all suck my tits." And she left. So I was like, okay, cool. So we went down to this other place and the ladies were like, "What the fuck are you guys doing here?" I'm like, "Well, we were halfway through getting booked in and we haven't." And then she's like, "You have 3 minutes. If you're not done in 3 minutes, you're not getting on this plane." So it was fucked. But
I get where she's coming from, but at the same time, what job lets you do that?
Halfway, exactly, man. I get it.
Do another 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And we were on to the because we'd all booked in. It was just Dane that was left to check his stuff in. So it was one person. There was a little bit of shuffling to do with weight, but it was, I was like, oh, that's a real bummer. So, but yeah,
Jesus.
They had to deal with like 4 dickheads, so.
I used to work with South Africans and I would work 2 hours unpaid every night and I never got a break in 6 months, not even a 10-minute break. The only time I got as a break was to take a shit.
Yeah, that's it, man. Like, that's what, like, who doesn't do overtime at work and doesn't get paid for it? Like, I don't know what job. I mean, yeah. It'd be different if we had just rocked up. It's just like, nah. But halfway through, I'm like, can you? Okay, all right, whatever.
I reckon you could put in a complaint about that, but the people that put in complaints are usually more arseholes than the arsehole you're dealing with.
Exactly. I mean, we got here fine. All of our gear's here, so it's all good in the end. And, you know, I mean, I'm grateful for Virgin because they do the APRA baggage allowance thing.
That is cool.
Because otherwise, man, the money that we would spend, we probably just wouldn't do it, to be honest. We just physically couldn't afford it. So, yeah. But just when you were saying dealing with 4 dickheads, I'm sure like those ladies, when we were rocking up late, we were just like, what the fuck?
Well, we used to go on tour and then guys would run out of money. They'd buy $300 worth of CDs. Yeah. So it's coming from Rocky. We had one Sanity store. Yeah, right. And there's nothing in it. So we get to Brisbane and we just stock up. Yeah. And they'd buy $300 worth of albums and then the next day, can you buy me a pie? I've got no money. So after a couple of times, I was like, no. You can
be an adult.
You can go hungry.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot. You live at home with your mum.
Eat your CDs.
Yeah, eat your CDs. Yeah, eat an Emperor album. Yeah. See how that tastes.
Yeah.
It'll taste grim and frostbitten, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to do this game with you called Cunty Questions.
Yep, let's do it.
Cunty Questions. So I like to play this game. I think you find out a lot about a person.
All right.
So the first one, it starts off all right, and then it gets worse. All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your favourite colour?
Purple.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Fuck. 1 to 10. What's your favourite colour? 7.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now you're getting it. So you guys used to be called the Kidney Thieves. So I thought this seemed appropriate. You wake up in a bathtub full of ice. Would you rather wake up missing a kidney, missing an eye, or missing a testicle?
Testicle.
Why? Because I would go with that too, but I want to hear your reason.
Well, I definitely don't want missing an eye. I want my full vision.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can live with one kidney, but you can also live with one testicle.
Exactly.
I just feel like I will need both my kidneys in future more than both testicles. Well, and I can just shoot blanks if I need to. That's
true.
Fine.
That's even better.
And I mean, testicles, whatever. One less to get kicked in as well, man.
Well, you could, if you had one eye, you could join a band like Ailstorm.
Yeah,
Fit the pirate
Lagerstein.
Lagerstein. There you go.
True.
I at a party once, this guy turned up in an eye patch, and to give you context, this house was a party house that I lived in.
Yeah.
My housemate was rollerblading in a welding mask with a joint in one hand and a cigarette in the other. Perfect. At the time this guy turned up.
Yeah.
And then he walks in the eye patch, so I just go, "Yar!" And he just goes, "Yeah, yar." And walked off. And I'm thinking, this cunt's got no sense of humour. He's in a fucking eye patch.
Yeah.
And then my friend said, "You know, he got stabbed in the eye by a gang of people from Nigeria." I went, I did not know that.
That's awesome.
And I feel terrible to this day. This is 7 years ago. I feel real bad, but it was funny.
He's like, I get that every day.
He must do, poor cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think losing a nut's not too bad because you get more room down there.
Exactly.
Less sweatiness.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly think my nuts want a bit of time apart.
Yeah, they need it, I think.
They've been in each other's pocket, literally.
for years.
Oh, shit. But if you lose your left nut, is your right nut still your right nut?
I think so.
Why?
Because I think it would still swing to the right.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I guess it's not fair it should lose its identity.
No, it's not fair on the right nut anyway.
It's not. It's already lost its best mate.
Exactly.
And now it's like you're nobody.
Yeah.
You're just a nut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A nut. Kicked in the nut.
Yeah, this podcast supports nut equality.
Yeah.
That's important. Okay, and one more for you. So you're on a desert island. There's absolutely no food.
Yep.
Cannibalism's the only option for survival.
Yep.
And suicide is not an option because, as we learnt in that video, Jesus is my blank, and he will send you to hell if you kill yourself. That's what I learned at Sunday school.
Yep.
So the only way you can survive is either eat a member of your own band, eat a member of your family, or eat your own member, aka penis.
Oh, that's a good question. All right. I wouldn't eat a member of my family, so it's going to have to
that would be out for me.
Yep, so it's going to have to be...
I mean, I'd fuck my dad, but I'm not going to eat him. Who am I going to fuck then?
Exactly. So you can't... That's why you can't eat
exactly.
them.
You're a Queenslander. I knew you'd get that.
Yeah. Well,
So you don't want to eat someone in your band. You know how filthy they are.
I know. I would choose a band member though if
True.
it was survival, only because I mean, I'm not saying I have a tiny dick, but if you just eat your dick, you're going to be hungry in another hour. Like,
True.
at least if you eat a whole human, you've got a while to go.
That's right. And also, if you're going to die, you want to spend your last days just jerking it. What else are you going to do?
Exactly, and you've only got one nut, so
Yeah, exactly.
they've been through enough.
So who would you eat? So you don't have any fat guys in the band.
We don't have any fat guys, except like Dane has this like inhuman monstrous dick.
Okay.
So I'd eat Dane for sure because one, he was late yesterday.
Yeah.
And
He deserves it.
He deserves it. And two, I think I would physically survive the longest.
Just on his dick.
Just on his dick.
There you go.
See, if you ask this question to Dane, he'd be like, well, if I have to survive, I'd probably eat my dick. Because it's like a meatloaf for five. So.
Maybe that's why the chick at the airport wanted to knock off. She just wanted to snack on that dick.
Exactly. She saw it coming and she was just like, nah, you guys are going to obviously be over in luggage. So, but it'd be Dane because I would survive the longest for sure.
Awesome. All right, that went exactly the way I wanted it to.
Perfect.
Fantastic. So you guys are on tour supporting the How We Operate
Single,
Single, yep.
So we released a song, How We Operate. So we've been touring that for the last month, I guess it is. So this is the last leg of the tour. And then we're back to Brisbane after these shows. And then we've got some time off. And then we're back on tour again in March with the Butterfly Effect.
Oh, sick.
And we're doing that national tour. And actually prior to that, we're doing the Brisbane and Sydney Prog Fest, which would be really good. And then, and on tour in March all through to April. So we do come back over to WA. The first shows of the Butterfly Effect tour are in WA.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're back again. And,
Cool, man.
That's us.
Are you guys releasing all this independently?
Yes. Well, we're with a record label called Birds Road Collective.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
I'm familiar with those guys.
Yes, but it's very much independent kind of stuff. So it's a bit of both, really.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this single we kind of just, did ourselves and released it and stuff like that. So we're writing for the next album, which if all goes to plan, we should be releasing next year at some point.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for your time, dude.
That's all right.
I've had a good time. Cheers.
Yeah.
Way back when I was just a little guy in my room with my toys, wouldn't share with the boys. And ain't it crazy how some people never change? Rearrange, throwing shade at the ones you love to hate. Come on now, this guy's got a twinkle in his eye and a hole in his pants. He reached out and touched the sky, he does the monkey dance. Seems clear to me this ain't the way it's supposed to be. So lick your lips, get close to me. Who's that? Who's that guy with the funky hat? Is he smoking crack? Well, fancy that. And back when I was just this little guy in my room, I would never share with the boys. Ain't it crazy how some people never change? Rearrange, oh, you love to hate. Settle down, it's all in your head now. It's not too late. And from this moment, we have a choice in how we operate. Next in line, you have been chosen. We can show them how we operate. Who's that? Who's that guy with a funky hat? Is he smoking crack? Well, fancy that. Who's that guy? Smells just like apple pie. Is he getting hot? Well, my oh my. Come on now, this guy's got a twinkle in his eye and a hole in his pants. He reached out and touched the sky, he does can show them how we operate. We 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 can show them. Settle down, it's all in your head now. It's not too late, and from this moment we have a choice in how we operate.
Hyper Manic Noize.